Tell me how much Disney Plus sucks.
How's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day. Welcome to today's episode of How You Getting Effed. I'm your host,
Hi.
Louis Rossman. And today
What's
we're going to
up?
discuss one of many reasons that
$50 million fund
Aw,
that they have
man.
to pay out every month. And here's how you can.
Yep.
Are you worried that using your
I need
home
an ad
address
blocker.
for business puts your privacy at risk? At iPostal One, we
using streaming services, if to consume your media is not a great way to consume your media in 2025. Back in the day, it was a really nice idea. You pay $10 or $30 a month, and you wind up getting an ad-free viewing experience where you're able to consume all different types of media. You no longer have to deal with NZBs. You no longer have to go to torrent sites or Share React or IRC, DDC bots, or whatever the hell else you were using in order to get your media. You could actually just pay for it like a normal person. You could have everything right there. You don't have to fuck with anything. You don't have to worry about, oh, this version I downloaded is corrupt, or I don't have enough part 2 files for this. Not enough seeders to get the ends of this. It's great until now. You have all these fracturing of different services where you have to have 4 or 6 different streaming services in order to get the media that you want. A lot of streaming services will pull certain things that you may have subscribed to them for. You have streaming services that will not allow you to get the high resolution version of your content unless you watch it on a device that's kind of spyware. And now you have Disney and other streaming providers as well doing this thing where what you paid for an ad-free subscription plan, you paid extra for the ad-free subscription plan, and then they send you a notice that looks like this. We are clarifying that as we continue to increase the breadth and depth of the content we make available to you, circumstances may require that certain titles and types of content include ads, even in our no ads or ad-free subscription tiers.
That is bullcrap. They should not be allowed to do that. That should be illegal as you know what. That's crazy that they can get away with that. Wow.
And then when you read their agreement, service tiers with or without ads. We offer different Disney Plus and Hulu service tiers, some with advertisements and some predominantly without. Service tiers described as no ads or ad-free are generally free of commercial interruptions, with certain exceptions that may change from time to time, including where 1. Streaming rights or other limitations require certain content to play with ads. Or 2. Ads are served in certain live or linear content or special events and replays thereof. I can get that. Additionally, no ads or ad-free service tiers may contain limited promotional content such as brief clips about the bundles. Go away. Including messages promoting an upgrade thereto. Go away. And other content available on any services associated with the bundles and branded content, product integrations, or sponsorship messaging. Streaming rights or other limitations require certain content to play with ads is the main one here. And this is probably not going to be something people expected, but it actually really mirrors the problem with New York commercial real estate. There's something I was talking about for a long time on the channel where I walk down the street and every single shop says retail space available. Many of these places are still for lease today, and some of them have been for lease for anywhere from 5 to 10 years. You'll have a space that's about 2,000 to 3,000 square feet that's going for $75,000 a month. And you may wonder, how in God's name is that space vacant at $75K a month? Wouldn't they lower the price at some point? And the reality, as this expert had put it on Reddit, I can't believe I'm saying those words in the same sentence, but the reality is this very smart gentleman put it, and I've confirmed this with many other people who work in the industry, is that when you have a commercial mortgage-backed security, there are many, many different investors that may own this building. There are institutional investors, individual investors, people who may not even know that they own shares of this particular building because of how that investment, how that financial security or instrument, however the fuck you want to call it. When I think of instrument, I think of Godowski and the little violin at the beginning of volume 12, not a financial product, but you get the idea. But you have people that own this building that may not even know. So if you want to change the asking rent, by changing the asking rent, you're adjusting the valuation of the building. And to do that, you may be marking up or marking down somebody's investment. To do that, you have to get buy-in from many different groups. And it's very difficult to get buy-in from all these different groups to have one building, one store, have its rent lowered. So you wind up with to you, it may seem ridiculous that I can do 1-hour videos in one of the most densely populated cities in the world, going over all the empty vacant storefronts. But it's actually more sensible that they stay vacant than it is to contact hundreds or maybe thousands of people to get them all to come to a consensus on their investment being marked down so that this commercial real estate space can get rented to a flower shop or something. And this seems like a similar issue that you're having in streaming digital media. I completely understand that when you are trying to get every single piece of content on earth covered on on one service for $10 or $20 a month, you have to wrangle together a lot of different companies. Many of these media companies have been purchased by media companies who've been purchased by media companies who they own the.
That's a good point. A lot of people don't realize that. Yeah, because how many companies does Disney own, or how many have they bought up since they started?
Right to this, and this person owns the right to that, and there's so much agreement that you have to come to in order to actually get working streaming service. And I understand that that's very, very difficult. I feel for you. At the same time, this doesn't mean jack shit to me as a viewer, the same way that everything involved in getting that space to be a reasonable rent doesn't mean jack shit to the guy that wants to run his flower shop who does not have $75,000 a month to spend on the space. This is not my problem. If I paid for an ad-free service, and now the content that is included in the service has advertisements, you can gargle my balls. That's what we
heard. That's why I don't have streaming services. I think I have like one. It's not even, I don't even use it for that really. It's Amazon Prime for the deliveries. But yeah, forget all that mess. I'd rather go outside. Go out and touch grass.
call a you problem. That, you know, my old receptionist veneer, I had some of the best employees in the world. Like a lot of the people that worked here, they worked here for a good 5 or 7 or 10 years before they went on to do other things, and some of them I still have after 7 or 8 years. Veneer was one of the best. She was from Kazakhstan, and she had a little bit of an accent. She would, every time some shit like this came up, she would always say something that I loved. It's like, sounds like a personal problem, and like, the way I'm never gonna be able to say it exactly the way that she said it. It was just with so much sass and finesse to it. It was like, sounds like a personal problem. And that's what this is to me. Sounds like a personal fucking problem. I understand that there are limitations on streaming rights and you're trying to wrangle all this stuff together, but that sounds like a personal problem between all of you. I don't want to deal with your personal problems. That's not my business.
Nope.
I paid for an ad-free service, and when people pay for an ad-free service, they expect to not see fucking advertisements, which is a great reason, again, to use plugins like Sponsor Block on YouTube. If you're one of the people that uses YouTube Premium, you pay them your $10 or $15 a month, and you still see ads baked into the fucking videos because the amount of money they're getting from the ad revenue is not enough. They can't ask you for the money, so they got to just dig in more. Use it. You paid for a fucking ad-free experience. Who am I to toss in ads afterwards? I think it's considerably more egregious when it happens here because Disney as a company is, doing slightly better in the net profit region than your average YouTuber. There's a video that I did that got quite a bit of pushback a year and a half ago. Piracy is completely justified. Lewis tries Netflix and remembers why. Where apparently I'm supposed to make myself aware of the half a dozen different restrictions on being able to stream 4K video that are not mentioned once on their fucking website. But if I pirate, I get full resolution for free. I have never, in 27 years of being on the internet, seen an advertisement in something that I downloaded as an AVI file or a Matroska file or something. There's one time that I think Dimension left in like a 2 or 3 second clip of a commercial and they wound up getting propered by CTU. But you don't see ads. Ever. You don't have to deal with this. This is their personal problem. It's not yours. You're not crazy. You paid to not see ads. They put ads into it. Block the ads. I went over this in the hierarchy of piracy in this manual that I did over here. By the way, I realized that I accidentally changed the theme from Vector 2022 back to Vector, which is why the table of contents was gone. But look, you have a table of contents again. See? You wanted a table of contents, you got a table of contents. Isn't it beautiful? This is Rossman's hierarchy of piracy over here. You have degraded physical media with no replacement available, degraded physical media replacement available, lost digital purchase, no repurchase option, lost digital purchase, repurchase available. The purchase that wasn't. You purchased digital media, but the company said, fuck you. Bait and switch streaming service. You paid for a streaming service, advertised with certain content, the content was removed and no refund option. Rental versus purchase confusion, the 4K lockout, DRM workarounds, and this is going to be somewhere in the realm of bait and switch streaming, which is you paid for an ad-free experience and they put ads into it anyway. This is different than I refuse to pay for shit even though I have the money for it. These are very different things. I don't like that in many scenarios the same word gets used to describe people that are totally reasonable and people that would never pay for anything or ever support an artist ever just because they want to be dicks. I think the entertainment industry, as well as the entire streaming services industry, gives people more reason to sail the high seas every single day and be guilt-free doing so. I like supporting artists that I enjoy.
I agree. But you also shouldn't pirate. That's crazy. That's a good video. Disney sucks. That's, ballpark. That's what he's talking about. Disney sucks. No surprise. Yeah. So cancel Disney Plus and move on. All right, what's next?